Long ago, in a small village, lived a girl named Cinderella. Cinderella lived happily with her family until her mother died suddenly of an illness. Her father remarried, and her stepmother and stepsisters soon moved into her home. They were very mean to Cinderella and made her do all the housework. Every day, they all wore beautiful clothes, except for Cinderella, who only had a few ragged dresses. One day, the prince of the land announced that he would have a dance party at the palace to find his future bride. "Can I go to the dance party too?" asked Cinderella. "You? Go to the dance party? That would never do. Now, go and finish your cleaning," said stepmother. "Oh, how I'd like to meet the prince. But I can't go to the dance party in these clothes," sobbed Cinderella. Just then, she heard a voice. "Don't cry, Cinderella." Cinderella looked up, and there was her fairy godmother. "Cinderella, I know how hard you've worked. You deserve a happy time. I'll get you ready to go to the dance party," said her fairy godmother. "Really?" exclaimed Cinderella. "Yes, really," said her fairy godmother. "Now, go to the garden and get me a pumpkin." Cinderella ran to the garden and brought back a big pumpkin. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand, and lo and behold, the pumpkin turned into a golden carriage. "Wow! What a beautiful carriage!" "Now, we need some horses to draw the carriage," said the fairy godmother. "Cinderella, go to the kitchen and get me the mousetrap." Cinderella rushed to the kitchen and brought back the mousetrap with 5 mice inside. The fairy godmother tapped each mouse on the back with her magic wand, and lo and behold, each mouse turned into a beautiful white horse. One mouse was a shade of gray, and when the fairy godmother tapped this mouse on its back, it turned into a coachman. "Now, you can go to the dance party, can't you?" said her fairy godmother. "But, fairy godmother, I can't go to the dance party in these clothes," said Cinderella. "Oh my, you're right. You couldn't go in those clothes," said her fairy godmother as she waved her wand above Cinderella. In an instant, Cinderella's rags turned into a beautiful white dress. Then, with another wave of the wand, Cinderella was wearing some glass shoes, and around her neck was a glittering necklace. Thank you, fairy godmother," said Cinderella. "Now, off you go to the dance party, but just remember that my magic wears off at midnight, so be sure to come home by 12, said her fairy godmother. "I will do as you say," answered Cinderella. When Cinderella arrived at the palace, the dance party had already begun. She stepped into the dance hall, and suddenly all eyes were on her, for she was truly a beautiful girl. The prince walked towards her, bowed, and said, "May I have the next dance?" "Yes, Prince, I'd be much obliged," said Cinderella. The prince would not let her go, and they danced and danced the night away. Just then, Cinderella happened to look up at the clock on the wall. It was 11:45. "Oh dear, it's almost midnight," said Cinderella to herself. "Prince, I must go home now. It's getting late," said Cinderella as she ran out of the dance hall. She was in such a hurry that one of her glass shoes fell off on her way down the stairs. But in her haste, she didn't go back to pick it up. She jumped on the horse and carriage and charged off home. The prince ran down the stairs after Cinderella, but she was gone. It was then that he found her glass shoe on the stairs. Taking the shoe to the king, he said, "I want to marry the girl who is wearing this glass shoe." The next day the prince ordered his ministers, "Go and search everywhere for the girl whose foot this glass shoe fits." The ministers searched everywhere, and they tried the shoe on the foot of every girl in the land. Finally, they came to Cinderella's home. "My beautiful daughters, try on this glass shoe. If your foot fits, you will be the prince's bride," said Cinderella's stepmother. Cinderella's stepsisters squeezed and shoved their feet into the shoe, but no matter how hard they tried, the shoe didn't fit. Just when the ministers were about to leave, Cinderella appeared from the back room and said, "Could I please try on that glass shoe?" "Ha ha! It's not possible that your foot would fit this shoe. Don't be so silly, Cinderella," said her stepsisters. But, to everyone's amazement, the glass shoe fitted her perfectly. "So, you are the beautiful girl who came to the dance party last night," said one minister. Just then, Cinderella's fairy godmother appeared. "And now, here are my finishing touches." Saying this, she waved her magic wand above Cinderella. With a boof, Cinderella's rags turned into a beautiful white dress. "Now, let us take you to the palace," said one minister. Cinderella was quickly ushered to the palace, where the prince was waiting. Shortly afterwards, they were married, and Cinderella became the princess of the land. And the prince and the princess lived happily ever after. The end.